look,
Oh, he finally showed up.
look who showed up.
You are so damn lucky I woke up in time.
What is going on, guys? It is the Too Sweet Wrestling Podcast here with Double Z TV and J-Man's Legit. Welcome to yet another episode. In this episode, we will be discussing AEW's Full Gear, which is going to be going live in just a few hours tonight at 7 p.m. for the buy-in, 8 p.m. for the live pay-per-view. So we're going to discuss some of our predictions and try to get through everything accordingly in time so we can start the live reactions over on J-Man's channel.
Yes, and dare I say this might be one of the best Full Gears right here, right now, because the card is stacked. They've got, great matches on hand for tonight. I mean, there are two of them that are no disqualification variants. One of them that where you can pin or submit your opponent anywhere, and the other is just a flat-out street fight. You know what I mean? Like anything and everything is going to happen tonight. Hopefully this event will be, topple Full Gear and probably be the best topple all out this year, but then again, who knows?
Yeah, I'm looking at this card, and it looks like it's going to be stacked. This is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is their last pay-per-view of the year, so I know they're going to try to go out with a bang. So why don't we just get right into it? You guys want to start talking about the first match, which is on the buy-in, ladies and gentlemen, which is Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter and Nyla Rose.
I've made all my predictions last night, but I will repeat them in case nobody knows anything about my channel of my live reactions to Rampage, which was the go home show before the pay-per-view event tonight for Full Gear 2021. I chose Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa to win because at the same time, I really do think that Jamie Hayter and Nyla Rose, I really don't see any chemistry between them regarding, them being a tag team or whatnot. I mean, it doesn't really, it doesn't mold with me. That's just my opinion. But still, I pick Hikaru and Thunder for the win. Awkward silence, Zach. I mean, it's your turn.
I'm still trying to wake up. I haven't gotten much sleep today.
Well, wake up. It's feeding time. It's feeding time.
Yeah, well, I've been a freaking sleep for part of the day after being at work since last night and then having to do a lot of cleaning, so I'm still a slight bit drowsy.
So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and give my quick prediction, and that way I'll give Double Z a little time to think of who he wants to see on top of this and win this match.
That's the sound of my fuel right there, in case anybody heard the bottle opening.
He's popping Coke bottles over there.
Damn straight.
I'll have to say Shida and Rosa for the win, just because I really don't care for Nyla Rose or Jamie Hayter, even though that Jamie Hayter is gorgeous. But I think going into this one, I think the all-on favorites to win is Shida and Rosa. So I know this is going to be a good match. Hopefully it's not going to be a snooze fest, because this is the match that is going to entice people to spend $49.99 and buy the pay-per-view. So hopefully it's not a squash, and it's not going to be a throwaway match, and that they're going to treat this match as a match that is actually on the official card. So we'll see what happens. I know we got a lot of matches and a lot of titles on the line tonight, so be a little bit of a change up to see something where the women get more time to shine without the belt being on the line. So my prediction, Shida and Rosa.
One thing I will say, though, it's like always the same with these pay-per-views, or probably main television, in regards to whether it's Dynamite or Rampage. It's always the same. Like, if it's on television or pay-per-view, they only showcase one women's match for the main show. And whether it's a buy-in, pre-show, or whatnot, I just feel like, they don't get showcased more often than they do on either Dark or Elevation. You know what I mean? Just Just throwing it out there.
I don't think anyone would want to be showcased on Dark or Elevation because they're not actually live the shows.
Oh yeah, true that. But I'm just saying, like, at least like give more matches for your card. Like, at least like showcase more of your talent. Like whether like both for women's and tag team. I've been saying that for like almost 2 years.
Oh, for sure. They definitely need to. I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping this card is going to be amazing. I know the most anticipated match of the night is going to be Paige versus Omega. And Kingston versus Punk, which we'll get into those matches later, but I'm definitely looking forward to this card. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what's going on. So with that being said, let's, Zach, your prediction.
All right. I don't know much about either tag team. Like, I've heard a couple names thrown around, like Thunder Rosa and Nyla Rose. To me, it seems like they got to go with Shida and Rosa, seeing how they're both baby faces, and you got to get the card, everything started off strong to get the crowd hyped and give people a reason to also purchase, as you guys mentioned. So I'm leaning more towards Rosa and Shida winning this just for the fact that they got to start off strong. They got to get the crowd warmed up and happy and everything. So it only seems like it's the right logical thing to do as well for getting everything started up.
I agree.
That's funny what Adam just said in the chat.
So right now, before we move on to the second match, I definitely want to give a shout out to the chat. We got Miguel, we have David, we got King of the Guineas, we got Nick, all part of the chat. What's going on, guys? Hopefully you guys aren't having a good Saturday. You're having a great Saturday. A little free guy humor there. With that being said, so hopefully the weather is good where you guys are. I know here it's raining and thunder and lightning, so hopefully power don't go out, cable don't go out during the reactions later. So
for sure,
keeping our fingers crossed,
and there's
not carrying cross.
Yeah, carrying. By the way, hello, Wrestling Snowman, the long lost son of Al Snow.
What's going on, Alex? What's going on, Wrestling Snowman? How we doing? So right now we're going to get into what we believe is going to be the first match of the night to open up the show. And we're going to see some tag team action. We are going to see Cody Rhodes, Pac versus Andrade and Malachi Black.
Malachi Black.
Yes, that guy. Which is actually kind of funny if you really think about it, because these two guys were in NXT and had one of the greatest feuds for the NXT Championship.
Yeah, they did.
On top of everything else, during that feud, Malachi had to work against his wife. His wife at the time, well, still is his wife, but had to work against his wife and his tag team partner tonight. So it's kind of interesting to see.
Maybe that's a slap in the face to NXT for what they had let go.
Yeah, maybe
standards.
For this match, I have to say it could go either way for me. For this match, and it's not any way of my hot dogging it on this one. It's because I actually like all the participants in this match. They're all phenomenal athletes. They're definitely great. I know Cody has been getting into it with Arn Anderson as of late, so I'm curious to see how that plays into a factor, if Arn Anderson is going to have any influence over the outcome of this match. It would be a swerve if Arn wound up turning on Cody and siding with Black and Andrade. I thought that'd be kind of interesting to see. But overall, like I said, this match can go either way for me because I love the participants in this match.
Or you never know, Cody could turn heel, even though he said he,
Yeah, that is true too.
I mean, he could still do that. Never know. You never know when that could happen at any time, because let's face facts. You can only be booed for so long, and if he's going to be the John Cena of AEW, then that's on him, not on us.
Exactly. So with that being said, I'm just looking forward to a great matchup out of the four of them. What's your guys' prediction?
Well, who did you choose?
I can go either way. I don't.
Oh.
To me, it doesn't. To me, I don't care who wins in this one because I love all four, so it can go either way, either Andrade or Black or Cody and Pac.
I was going to be the same way if the match between Bryan Danielson was going to be him and Jon Moxley. I didn't know if I was going to pick one or the other because, I mean, I would say go either way. It wouldn't matter. But this match, it doesn't really fit that category for me. So as far as I'm concerned, last night I picked Cody and Pac because of a coin toss, because mostly due to the fact I can't really tell who's got the better advantage point. And plus, these four men, 2-on-2, it's basically just a rivalry, like on mutual interests. And to be honest with you, I can't really picture either team being much team players with each other because you never know what's going to happen. And as much as Malachi Black and Andrade El Midolo, I believe, make somewhat of a lethal dose and a lethal combination, I still can't picture them winning because after all, it just feels like, it's like as if it's like a spark to, make their rivalry, renew in AEW and become better than when they were in the main roster of the WWE.
Yep.
So I'd have to pick Cody Rhodes and Pac for the win on that one.
Awesome. That's a great prediction. So Miguel in the chat says, EliteJC TV, this pay-per-view is very good, but the main event is going to be very, I think he meant to say very good. It's going to be very excited. So I agree with that, Miguel. Definitely it's going to be match of the night. I know we were ready for this match. We were ready for that main event 2 months ago. So we'll cover that a little bit later on in the video.
But there's a reason why, which we'll get to once we get to that main event match.
Yeah. So with that being said, Zach, your prediction?
One thing that only pisses me off about this is like every time I see Andrade's name, I keep thinking it's like a typo because it looks like his name is Andrade El Dildo for some reason. But this one, I had to look up research quick a second because I thought Pac was still a heel, but it's like I guess he turned babyface joining with Cody Rhodes. Something in me feels like Malachi and Andrade are going to win this tag match. I don't know. It's a gut instinct. So something saying it's going to be Black and Andrade for this tag match.
Yeah.
All right. King of the Guineas said Jordan turned heel when he cheated on me. LOL.
No comment.
I always thought you two would get together. No, I'm joking.
It makes it more difficult for me to, to showcase why I'm not. But then again, people can think whatever they want. I said on ZDB stream last night, and I'll say again, if you think I'm gay, fine, then I'm gay to you. But at the end of the day, if I'm not to you, then I'm not. I mean, like it's my life. So what difference does it make? I mean, I just feel like if you're going to think less of me, if what you think of me is real in your head and not in mine, then hey, that's your problem, not mine.
No comment.
So the next match of the night, we're going to see Christian and Jurassic Express versus the Super Click, Adam Cole and the Young Bucks in a Falls Count Anywhere. A part of me my heart wants to go with Jurassic Express and Christian, but I don't want to say the logical, but my head wants to say the Super Click just because they've been killing it, and I don't think they're going to allow the Young Bucks to take an L on this pay-per-view, especially where it's the last pay-per-view of the year. So I'm going to go with the Super Click as much as I love Jurassic Express and Christian. Just because my boy Adam Cole, but all in all, I think this is going to be a good match. I know there's going to be a lot of action all over the place, so it's going to be kind of hard to keep track, especially camera-wise. So I think with this particular match, I have a feeling we're going to see multiple cameras, kind of like picture-in-picture with all three cameras, because these guys are going to be brawling all over the friggin' arena. It's going to be hard to kind of focus on just one.
Yeah, it's Falls Count Anywhere for a reason. I mean, it could go either way.
Yeah, I mean,
But
they could
understand
fight.
that it has to be one fall to a finish, though. I mean, it never say anything about eliminations.
Yeah, so it'd kind of be funny if they did like a nod to the old Falls Count Anywhere matches in WWE where The Rock and Mankind were going at it, and The Rock goes and takes a piece of the popcorn. He's like, "It's salted," and he kicks McFoley on the ground. But anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna go with the Super Click, just because Adam Cole and he's been killing it lately, on Dynamite and Rampage. So that's my prediction.
The only thing I will say, though, I'd rather see him, Adam Cole, versus Jungle Boy, Jack Perry. I'd rather see them in a one-on-one match in the pay-per-view because, to be honest with you, it would be a good way to elevate both men, no matter who got the win, to be honest. It was the same thing if I thought, if we had the original, Eliminator Tournament Finals, if it was Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley, but, change of plans because of him going into rehab. But I will say, though, with this match, now that's being a Falls Count Anywhere match with in a 6-man tornado tag variant, it's really hard to tell. I mean, it could go either way in a sense. But I will say, though, the only thing I can say, I don't think Adam Cole should benefit off a 6-man tag victory because I think, if anything, he should be like in the singles role of the Elite. Like maybe, I don't know, for a chance for a spot for the TNT title or something like that.
I think it would be too. I think it'd be too soon. Like, I think having him in any kind of title run, not even title run, but title contention, would be too soon. He's only been there a couple of months, so I think.
I know that, Joe. But what I'm saying is, like, the thing is, I'd rather see him get built properly, instead of being, flooded by a couple of guys who he knows personally, all for the fact, because they're founders of the company. And they're, executive, presidents, I believe, or executive, whatever. And on top of all that, I think it'd only be fitting if it were just him and Jungle Boy. And plus, look at Christian Cage here. Like the last time he's won a pay-per-view match? None, because he hasn't won either pay-per-view match, like Double or Nothing or All Out. And I feel really bad for the guy.
His only major win was when they, on the very first episode of Rampage, where he beat Omega for the title, for the Impact title, the Impact Championship.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is, I feel like he could deserve a win. I mean, once in a while on pay-per-view, because Christian's a valuable talent, just as Jungle Boy and Adam Cole and all that. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to go with Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express.
All right. Zach?
This is a bit of a difficult one. Something in my gut is saying it's going to be Super Click because we also got to remember this is going to be Adam Cole's first pay-per-view match in AEW. And seeing how impactful his debut was just at All Out last time, it feels like they're going to drop the ball if they have his first pay-per-view match in AEW being a loss. So it feels like they got to have Super Click get the victory here just to keep Adam Cole on the role that he's going on.
I agree. Right. So we're gonna get into the next match, which is CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. Before we go ahead and give our predictions on the match, guys, like always, if you like what you see and you love the podcast, make sure you guys are clicking that like and making sure that we're subbed to the channel and clicking the notification bell and setting to your notifications to all. So that way you don't miss any content uploaded to the channel. You'll also find the links to all of our socials down in the description box below. And on top of that, the link to my brand new Discord. Make sure you guys click that, head on over, and make sure you verify in the verification section so that way you can be able to chat in the Discord with the other members. With that being said, CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. This is a feud that goes back to years ago.
15 years, I think.
15
Punk said,
years.
Or maybe I mean, that's dang, dude. Like Ring of Honor and its in
its glory.
Days.
Yeah.
When it was an indie promotion and not a major wrestling company.
Wait, when was it ever a major wrestling company?
when they got their TV deal and started being a weekly television show.
I never saw him on TV, but hey.
They were on they were on various syndicated channels like, across America.
Okay.
Don't judge me.
So this feud goes back 15 years. They brought up a lot of past stuff over the last couple of weeks, and it all started with Eddie Kingston bum rushing and disrupting a backstage interview with CM Punk. They both throw some disses at each other. When I know one of them was when Eddie asked for Punk to fight him, have a match with him at Full Gear, and he made a comment about being Full Gear is not Eddie's level. It'd be more like Elevation or Dark. I thought that was funny. I thought that was amazing. A good jab, which I'm actually surprised that that Kingston didn't take a jab at him and anything WWE related during that segment on Rampage. But
actually, he did. He did after CM Punk accepted the challenge for Full Gear.
Well, yeah, he said leave for 7 years. Yeah. But overall, I'm really excited for this match. I'm definitely, I'm all Punk, but I won't be disappointed if Eddie wins. I definitely think that that Eddie definitely still has a lot of learning to do as far as picking his moments. Even though that he's pretty much considered a veteran now of the business because he's been doing it for so long. But I'm gonna say it because my boy Ace isn't here to say it because we always joke about Eddie Kingston being from Yonkers, and he goes, "Nobody claims Yonkers," but overall, I'm just looking for a great match. I'm all Punk though. I'm definitely want Punk to pick up the win. I'm won't be disappointed if Eddie comes out, but I don't think they're going to allow Punk to lose just yet. He's been doing really great in the ring in AEW. I also like the fact is that he's using his name and his star power to help kind of lift and get in there with a lot of the up and coming talent and try to get them over as well. I really love that. So
yeah,
definitely looking forward to this match.
He's wrestled more on Rampage because he's trying to help build the viewership, and that could go the same for Bryan Danielson.
Yes,
because even though Rampage isn't 2 hours like Dynamite, which is a good thing, but I will say that with Punk being on Rampage, wrestling on there more, it helps build the viewership. It was kind of like an idea of what Bischoff should have had when Bret Hart entered in WCW, but the thing is he didn't wrestle or appear on Thunder as much as often as he should have. So, yeah.
So your prediction is Punk or?
Yeah, my prediction is Punk because obviously, I feel like might keep him undefeated for maybe, I don't know, until they feel like he's ready for an AEW world title shot. That's just my opinion. But at the end of the day, Eddie Kingston will not set him back if he loses. He's been in a big match situation before. He was in last year's main event for the world title against Jon Moxley. So this really won't affect him much if he loses. But if he does win, then I'll say that's a shocker because, it's a rarity if you're going to see CM Punk lose to someone that doesn't get, quite as bit of, recognition as he should, when it comes to Eddie Kingston. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is going to be interesting. And, so, Zach, Punk or Kingston?
It's like, I don't know much about Eddie Kingston. I did hear the promo where the match was finally announced, challenging for a match and everything, and the whole shot saying after he loses, go ahead and quit for 7 years, and they get to the big brawl, which is, absolutely awesome to see. This, I also feel like CM Punk's going to win. I think Eddie is somehow going to get elevated, not just because of, how big this match is going to be, but I think somehow they're going to have him somehow benefit, really elevate him in the company just through this match alone and somehow look strong in defeat because both men have nothing to really lose, no matter who loses this match whatsoever, because of how hyped up everybody is for this. The shots they're taking back and forth. So it's like, I feel like CM Punk's going to win, and Eddie is still going to win in a way, like still get his way up in the card after this match. Because again, it's only up from here for both men anyway.
Agreed.
Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead into the next match. Does anyone have anything they want to plug or anything they want to mention before we get into the next match?
Just the fact that my live stream will be starting tonight around, around the same time as AEW Full Gear starts. So be sure to, tune into my channel, go down in the description and check my channel out. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell whenever I go live tonight and other live streams in the future. So, yeah, I just want to throw that little plug-in out there. And also later tonight, if you're able to, that's also going to be live as well, will be Ibarra Bros Studio, the Bumbling Bozos variety program. They'll be live tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to check them out, because David 3000, who's also in the chat right now, will also be a part of the show. I'm usually part of the show whenever I can make it, but I won't be making it tonight. But I might make it next week, hopefully. But as far as I'm concerned, there you go, too. There's some plugs for you.
All right. So the next match is probably AEW's two hottest up-and-coming athletes, and that is Darby Allen and MJF. My God, I have to say that MJF is the top heel right now in wrestling. There's no shade at Roman and what he's doing on SmackDown. He's doing great. But when those cameras go off, he's Joe. All right? He's Joe. He's not Roman. He's Joe. MJF is MJF on and off camera. He does not believe in kayfabe. He does not break for anything. He is to the T. What you see on TV is what you get in real life. I had a coworker who actually got to meet him, and he was wearing a Chris Jericho shirt, and he literally roasted my friend and talked pure smack and was just over the top like he was on TV. So he's been on a tremendous run lately. He's had a great 2021. I definitely know he lost that match to Jericho.
Oh, something happened to Zach.
Oh boy. No. Shit.
Sorry guys, I have to split this early. Okay. We'll get Zach's. I'll be sure to ask for his predictions later tonight. Like for Facebook, and I can announce them during my live reaction.
Yeah.
Let's continue. We apologize, folks, for the.
We apologize for the technical difficulties, guys. So the thing is like he lost that match to Jericho at All Out, but since then he's had a great run as he was able to recover from that. And what can we say about Darby that hasn't already been said? The guy takes a beating, keeps coming, and he's kind of almost like a Jeff Hardy kind of feel to him, where no matter how bad you beat him, he's still going to keep coming at you. And he had that great match with Punk at All Out. He took a loss, but still came out on top, and his momentum wasn't hurt at all.
Told you.
So, yes, you did.
Brings you back to episode 1 of the show.
So, honestly, to me, I'm going to say Darby. But again, I won't be disappointed if MJF wins, because as much as MJF plays the heel so well that you want to see him lose just out of pure hatred for the character, but that he's doing his job. they always say in the wrestling business, if you can get so much heat to the point where people hate you, you're doing your job. And I think that's a stigma that has transcended the wrestling business, is that if you're a heel and you can't get the fans to hate you, you're not doing your job or you're not doing something right. So with that being said, I'm picking Darby, but I won't be disappointed if MJF picks up the win. Definitely has a bright future in the business. And on top of that, he's a young guy. I think he's in his 20s, late 20s maybe. So he's got some
24 years old, I believe.
So he's got some wheels and some miles to go ahead of him. So with that being said,
how old did you say who was?
I thought MJF was like 27.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just
no, you're all right.
Were you asking about?
So with that being said, like I said, he's got some traction underneath those wheels and he's got the miles ahead. So either this match could go either way. You know what I mean? MJF or Darby, because these guys have such great characters, such charisma, such a following that you tune in to see MJF lose. But you can't also take away from the fact that if he wins, you can't be disappointed. So,
Right.
So, like I said, I'm gonna go with Darby as my pick, but I won't be disappointed if MJF wins.
I'm gonna say this for the record, and I'm gonna tell you this. This is just my opinion. I think the reason why MJF does not break his character, or doesn't break quote-unquote kayfabe, even though he doesn't do kayfabe, even though that's what he does. I think the whole reason why he sticks in with the prick character that he has is because he needs to build that heat. But however, I think when there's not cameras rolling, and if there's not people around except for his, immediate friends and family, like that actually know him personally, then that is who, that's when he's not being himself, which you see on TV. Because deep down, I know this guy. I don't know him personally. I think somewhere deep down, this guy, he's just like you and me, when it comes down to the nitty gritty. And he can deny it all he wants. Like, I was watching Inside the Ropes, where, the thing I showed you or let you listen in regards to Chris Jericho. MJF, throughout that whole thing, from the interview that was given to him, he did not once break character. And he was like, and the guys that were there, they just took it, like a champ. But at the same time, and again, still playing the character, not once breaking. And the reason why he's not doing that, especially when he was, when everyone was looking at Cody's newborn infant daughter, he was acting a little bit prickish, but still at the end of the day, he doesn't really mean that. And if he did, then that just shows you that he shouldn't even be in the business if his attitude like that was for real.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like he plays the character both on and off to keep kayfabe going.
Or kayfabe.
Yeah, whatever, kayfabe, whatever. He plays the character. He plays the character to keep the mysticism of the character alive. He wants I mean,
I was just saying, like. But here's the thing. If there's one person, I don't know if I want to interview when it comes to R&R interviews with wrestlers, I don't think MJF is going to be on that list because I can tell me and Brandon, we can actually take what he's got. Now, Eric, I think he can handle it. Maybe Uriel, but I don't think Michael would handle it. No offense, Michael, if you're watching. I mean, I just, there's sometimes, so much a man can take, even though if you don't know if a person's playing a character or not, because MJF's the kind of guy, he's not going to, risk, his reputation as a character, both on screen and off screen. But who I think I would say win this match, even though I think the storyline is a little bit, disturbing, considering it once again exploiting death and all that. If it's true or not about Darby's uncle, I'm going to have to say MJF, mostly due to the fact that this year alone, he has not once gotten a pay-per-view win. He lost in a tag match with Jericho for the AEW World Tag Team titles. He lost the Stadium Stampede match at Double or Nothing against the Inner Circle while he was, doing the Pinnacle, or as I like to call the Penial. And then there's, the match he had with Jericho, where it was a career-threatening match, where Jericho lost, he would retire, and Jericho won. So you could say, even though this year might be, good for him in regards to television, but on pay-per-view, it's been, kicking in the nuts real hard. He just can't get back up worth a crap. So I'm going to say that if he cannot win at Full Gear, then there is a problem in regards to how he's being handled in pay-per-view matches. I would love to see the good guy win, but here's the problem. Whoever said Darby was, a superhero?
Yeah, true.
So, yeah, I'm going to have to go with MJF for the win on this one.
All right. So, with that being said, we're going to go into the next match, guys. We're going to keep it rolling here on the podcast. So, the next match is for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. You're going to have the Lucha Brothers defending against FTR. I never really was a fan of FTR when they were a part of WWE.
As the Revival?
As a Revival. So I'm going with the Lucha Bros just because I'm a Lucha Bros fan. I liked what I saw out of them from day one in AEW. So this is going to be a great match. The Lucha Brothers have not had a bad match. Their match at All Out with the Bucks in the cage was amazing.
Yes.
These guys definitely, when they show up, they show out, and it's never a bad match. If it's a bad match, it's booking. That's it. It's got nothing to do with them. These guys are amazing. They're high octane offense, high flying. They are lucha. They are lucha wrestlers. They are luchadors, and these guys can sell and do anything that anyone else can, but better. So I'm going to say that the Lucha Brothers are going to retain.
Same here, because I think that it's too soon for them to lose the tag team titles to FTR. It's kind of like with them last year at All Out. They won the titles from Kenny Omega and Adam Page, which is the main event between those two. That they had the most silent match. It was a good match, but the fans were not even hyped or jacked like they usually are. It was like as if death had filled the air. I think it was probably due to the fact that how the event was done with the Matt Hardy, incident and all that, and other things that happened. But at the same time, still, FTR, they were champions for like maybe 2 to 3 months, I believe, until they lost it to the Young Bucks, which, I mean, it was a great match there too. But I will say, though, that kind of like, took them off their A game as competitive tag team champions and a tag team in general. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have to say that if Lucha Brothers, withstand the very same effect that FTR got last year, then that's going to be a difficult problem. So I'm going to say that the Lucha Brothers are also going to retain, because it's kind of too early for them to lose those belts, especially the fact that they just lost the AAA tag team titles to FTR, kind of like, the whole situation with Christian Cage and Kenny Omega. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's that kind of feel to it,
Overall, I think the match is going to be very good, and I can't wait for it. This is a match that I'm kind of looking forward to, and that's the Inner Circle versus Men of the Year and America's Top Team.
And Minnesota Street Fight.
And the Minnesota Street Fight. Yep. So in this match,
or Minneapolis. Minneapolis. Oh yeah, Minneapolis Street Fight. Well, it is in Minnesota. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. For this match, I want Inner Circle because I don't like this guy Lambert. I don't like him. I think he's annoying and obnoxious. And the fact that they have these MMA guys actually being on the roster on the actual card is amazing, because I have a feeling someone's going to get some receipts in this match, and there's no way around that. But overall, I'm hoping for a great match, and I want to see the Inner Circle win.
Same here, because not gonna lie, I really cannot, for the life of me, don't like this whole mentality where it's almost as if you're adding more people into this little fiasco. But I really don't think that Dan Lambert needs to be, in the ring, because it's like Michael Bombardier says on R&R. It's like he's like the Vince Russo in AEW, or the Vince Russo 2.0, which is kind of funny when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I mean, I feel like the Inner Circle and Chris Jericho have been such on a roll this year. Having them lose to, no offense to Scorpio Sky or Ethan Page, but having, Jericho and his group lose to, Men of the Year and America Top Team, whatever, that would really kill off their momentum of how much of a role they've been this year. Sure, they haven't won World Tag Team title. Sure, they haven't won back the world title. But they did win the AEW TNT Championship, which, Sammy Guevara, busted his tail for over 2 years with the freaking company,
Yep.
And I think at this point, it would be very bad if you were to kill off their momentum, if they were just to be lost by another tag team and then a trio who's never once wrestled, or at least one of them hasn't. So I'm going to say the Inner Circle.
All right. And before we get into the next match again, I just want to plug, if you guys like what you see and you enjoy the content, make sure you leave a like, smash that subscribe, and click the notification bell and set your notifications to all, so that way you'll be notified when content is uploaded to the channel. Also, not only in the description box below will you find the links to my socials and Discord. Make sure you guys go ahead and verify so you can be able to conversate with the other members of the Discord server. We're trying to build a community over there, and it will be awesome if you guys would like to participate in that. You can also contact me directly off of stream, and also other members of the Discord and the community as well.
Yeah.
And you will also find the links to J-Man's and Double Z's channels as well. So make sure you guys go over there, leave a like, subscribe, and click that notification bell on their channels as well. Because if we can plant the seed today for a better tomorrow, why not do it? Let's get into the next match.
By the way, how about another plug-in? This episode is brought to you by Wrangler Real Comfortable Jeans. I should know because I bought a pair this past Sunday night, or actually this past Wednesday night, and they're pretty good.
All right.
True. I mean, go to your local Walmart and buy them, because I'm telling you, the waistband, the pants, and the cool and heat temperature automatic system within the pants is freaking awesome.
Alrighty, guys. So we're going to get into the next match, and that is the Eliminator Tournament final match.
Sorry.
It is.
I'm sorry. That was funny, David. I'm sorry. That was great right there. I'm not going to read that out loud because I don't want to give anyone. I'm not going to give anyone any clout. But go ahead, continue.
So we are going to get into Bryan Danielson and Miro for a AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament final match.
Before we go into that match, there's a person that says that's Black Apple saying Darby is the truth. Okay.
This episode is
the truth shall set him free, I guess.
J-Man Outcast.
That's what I wasn't going to read off of, but then again, you wrote it. You read it, not me.
This is probably going to be one of those matches tonight that's going to be talked about for a while. These guys have met before in WWE, so it would be definitely worth seeing this match again. The stakes haven't never been higher for them in this match, because the winner of this, I believe, gets a shot at whoever the world champion is going to be at the end of this pay-per-view. It'll probably be at either Elevation in February or maybe Double or Nothing in May. So with that being said, this match for me can go either way. Again, the reason why is because I like both of these guys. Miro has been killing it since being in AEW, and so has Bryan Danielson. He's been killing it as well. Getting into the ring and mixing it up with some of AEW's young roster, and just having fun doing it, and also helping build the roster up like CM Punk is as well. So, like I said, I like both of these guys, and it can go either way for me. I don't have a clear prediction on this one because I could see either or walking away from it. But I think it'll probably wind up being Daniel Bryan because they already hinted Daniel Bryan Omega when he debuted at All Out in September. So see what happens. All I know is it's going to be a great match, and I can't wait to see it.
The only thing I can say here too is, as much as I think, Miro's been on a great roll ever since when he won the AEW TNT title from Darby Allen, and then there was the months that he had been dominating AEW even after the series premiere of Rampage and all that. Still, I looked up online last night doing the predictions for AEW Full Gear for tonight, for like last night on the live reaction for Rampage. And I looked up and found out that back in 2018, when Daniel Bryan, which was Bryan Danielson's, WWE name, he had lost in his very first ever match against Rusev, who is Miro, as we all know, on SmackDown Live. This was I think it was a qualifying match for the Money in the Bank ladder match, I believe.
Yep.
And apparently, there was never any other match with them against each other. Just that one match, But in this match, I feel like it could, go either way, like you said. But I have to choose because this is a match where you have to realize that either man can get a big, push for this kind of, victory. Bryan, he's been killing it more as of late because his matches have been pretty much, like 4 or 4.5 star rated matches, one match after the other, especially when he, fought to a time limit draw against Kenny Omega and a non-title bout at Grand Slam, the Dynamite edition of the tour. Then there was freaking, other matches after that. But I'm going to say this, that I feel like Bryan Danielson can benefit this more because, he's got a huge momentum riding ahead of him. Now, the reason why they're bringing Miro back was because he's like a replacement for Jon Moxley, because Moxley was supposed to be in the finals. And we all know this. But in my view, if it were Jon Moxley in this match, I wouldn't have made a pick. I would have said this match goes either way and say that, either man, will both gain something out of it, in the long run. Because Moxley himself has been a former AEW World Champion. He's already held the title for a long period of time through the pandemic portion of 2020. But as far as I'm concerned with Bryan Danielson, this is his chance to probably get back the main event spot and actually be treated as a serious competitor and a wrestler, not a superstar. But I really have no shade towards Miro, but I'd have to pick Bryan Danielson also for the fact that he needs a win back. Bryan needs that win back because Miro lost to him on SmackDown about 3 years ago. It's only fair for Bryan to take a win back.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. So we have 2 more matches left. They're both championship matches. So we're going to get right into it. The next match on the card is going to be Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, defending against Tay Conti. Now, what can you really say about Britt that hasn't already been said? She's a tremendous athlete. She's great in the ring, great mic work. She's
great in bed with Adam Cole.
No comment.
Well,
She
hey, that's all the other smart marks have been saying online, not me.
she has been killing it. She's had a great 2021. She has the opportunity to close out 2021 with a bang, and um, with the women's championship. I know that they just created the TBS Women's Championship that's supposed to be, I think, debuting sometime soon.
I think it's going to debut on the first edition of Dynamite on TBS in January on its first show.
Probably.
Because I think that's the plan. Because why would you want to debut? Why would you want to crown a champion that on TNT if it's a
Yeah.
TBS championship?
Exactly. Tay Conti, what can you really say about her? She's quick in the ring. She's got the fans behind her. She's beautiful and she's great on the mic. And I feel like WWE kind of dropped the ball with her, especially especially down in NXT. They definitely dropped the ball with her and a lot of the women down there. I think she never really got a fair shake or a fair chance to carry the championship over there. So I want to, as much as I know Britt's going to walk out with the championship, but my prediction is I say Tay Conti. And the only reason why I don't see Tay winning the match is because Britt's probably going to have help from the two other Goot girls that she comes out with. So
you say Britt Baker's going to win, right?
No, I'm saying Tay Conti's going to win. That's my prediction. But I'm saying, though, if Tay doesn't win, it's because Britt's going to have outside help.
Okay,
she
I
has
agree
been.
with that.
So, overall, it's going to be a great match. And I really hope they just let these two women shine and let it have a clean, clear finish.
I agree with that.
Prediction?
Same as yours, Tay Conti, because I mean it's pretty obvious that I think their history goes back a long way, probably before Britt Baker even won the AEW Women's Championship. Because Britt has disrespected Tay during her little doctor's office or I don't know what that segment was called. It was on Dark or Dynamite or whatever. I think it was mostly on Dark, and it was trying to build up with them in a future match. However, Tay Conti's got a lot more to gain in this, even though Britt Baker has been on a good roll still. I've said this once and I'll say it again till the day I die with my last dying breath. I'm getting sick and tired of how, when the fans are behind the heel, when it comes down to that whole DMD thing and they repeat it like as if it's a wrestling, initials for a certain company.
Well, I mean, they do the same thing with Adam Cole.
Well, Adam Cole, well, here's the thing. They don't need to do that. I mean, if you're going to be a heel, get heat. Just be like MJF. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it's my opinion. I mean, I'm not going to say it's gospel like I've said before. I'm just pointing I'm just calling it how I see it. Sorry, I was tongue-tied there. The point is, if Britt Baker wants to be taken serious as a legit heel, in my view, one thing she's got to do is stop using the DMD thing because it's getting, again, more over with the fans. Even though if she were to get booed at the same time, it's still the same thing. Having fans follow you when you say three initials is a little bit, disturbing at best. Not cringy and not, very uncomfortable. I'm just saying, disturbing in a sense, because it just gives off vibes of because there's no real villains or heroes in wrestling anymore. But
exactly.
I will say, though, she could retain with the help of her, of her goons. But I will say, though, if at all possible, I think Tay should get this win because let's be honest with you, she's had somewhat of a good year in AEW. I mean, and plus she could use the win and it can benefit her more, and they can have a rematch in the next pay-per-view. I mean, and Tay could drop the belt back over to Britt. I mean, Britt's obviously going to be the face of the women's division, just as Charlotte Flair is the women's division, whether she's on Raw or SmackDown, even though they need to stop the brand extension because it's gotten way too overkill because they're releasing too many people. But, yeah, I just think, Britt Baker's going to be the face of the AEW women's division for a very long time. She just needs to, give the pass it down to Tay Conti, even if it's just until the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because opportunities cannot be wasted on young talent, when it comes down to, when they're trying to make a name for themselves.
I definitely agree. So, want to give a quick shout out to the chat. Everyone commenting, appreciate it. Love that you guys are making us a part of your Saturday evening. Hopefully everyone is hyped for AEW Full Gear tonight. Hopefully you guys are enjoying our predictions. So we're going to go ahead and Black Apple said Charlotte isn't the face. LMAO, what the hell? She is. I mean, if you really look at, and not to get into a WWE debate on an AEW podcast, AEW episode of the podcast.
It's your show, man.
Regardless of what anyone thinks, Charlotte is the face of the women's division. She has combined the most women's championships currently in the WWE. If I'm not mistaken, I think she's the only Grand Slam champion on in WWE right now. She's the only one to have captured not only the NXT Women's Championship, the Women's Tag Team titles. She also, when she first debuted on Raw, she was the Women's Divas Champion and then became the Women's Champion when they made the switch from Diva to Women's Wrestler. So I think she's like a 12 or 13-time champion now.
Her unlucky number.
So, I mean, I don't know if that's an accurate number or not, but I mean, as much as it cringes me to say it, she's the face of the women's division. There's no way around that. Vince is.
You even said that on one of the episodes too.
Hey Fernando, what's going on, buddy? Hopefully you're geared up for Full Gear. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the last match of the night.
It is the main event.
It is the main event.
Okay, that was longer than what Todd Grisham or even Brandon would do, but that was pretty good. Well, by she, do you mean Britt Baker?
No, give me Jimmy Hater.
But anyway,
we have.
I want to give the first prediction.
All right,
go ahead and announce the participants.
So we have the reigning, defending AEW World Heavyweight Champion, the Cleaner, Kenny Omega, versus the challenger, Adam Hangman Page. This match is going to be match of the year, match of the night. This match has been planned all year long. And before I give my prediction, I will let Jordan give his prediction on the match. But before Jordan gives his prediction, I have to say that this match, if the title changes, should have happened about a pay-per-view or two ago. I don't know why they didn't decide to go that route, but I think it's time for a change. But I'll get into that in a couple of minutes. Jordan, your prediction.
This is a win-win situation or win-loss situation, because I would say this is a match that Adam Page needs to win and a match that Kenny Omega cannot lose. Because, for example, you have Adam Page, who's been working his tail off in AEW ever since its first pay-per-view event for Double or Nothing 2019. And when he qualified to be one of two men, to be in the inaugural AEW World Championship match with Chris Jericho, which he did not win. He was denied of his opportunity to be world champion 2 years ago. And ever since then, he's had some setbacks. And the only thing that got him elevated was becoming tag team champions with the guy who he's facing tonight, who he faced last year in the first AEW title eliminator tournament, Kenny Omega. But at the same time, I feel like this is the kind of match where it needed to happen after a whole year, because I think I can understand why. The reason why they did not do it for All Out was because one of two reasons. Reason number one is because it would have been more fitting if the two that opened Full Gear last year were the main event, would make them more attractive in both build and for story. As far as I'm concerned, reason number two was also because Adam, he had his significant other was having a baby, a son which he was not going to miss. And yeah, he was not going to miss that birth. So he had to leave for a while. And since he's going to finally get his opportunity after 2 years of not getting a championship match, this is a match that he has to win, or otherwise, what is there to say about Adam Page? His momentum's killed off. His chance of being made into a legitimate main event star will be completely tarnished. And if he gets another title shot in the later years, it'll be too little too late. However, and I will say this too, if freaking Kenny Omega retains that belt one more time, I will freaking lose my crap. Because I have said it before, I will say it again. Kenny Omega is the laziest bastard of an AEW world champion, or any kind of world champion I've seen on a major wrestling program or a major wrestling company. He's like on par with both Hulk Hogan and Brock Lesnar. I've said it. Because that's all there is to it. Because Kenny Omega, ever since he won that title, he has not competed on Dynamite as much as he should have. He's went over the 30 limit period for the title of how it should be defended numerous times. And on top of all that, he's been more into Impact than he has been with the company that he helped co-founded with the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes. So if he were to retain this title, and yes, even though it will kill off his momentum to hold the title for a whole year, I could give less of a crap. Because he is killing off opportunities for other major growing stars, for guys like Darby Allen, Jungle Boy, and even other people that deserve that limelight to actually be in a world title contendency, to have the chance to be on television or pay-per-view to main event. It's the same thing with Hollywood Hogan back in WCW. So I'm rooting for Adam Page all the way, because this could kill off Page's momentum. And by God, I want to see, Kenny Omega finally lose something while Adam Page gains something in the progress. Because Kenny Omega, as I've said before, the laziest bastard of a world champion that I've ever seen in my life, even being a full-time wrestler. So there you go. My prediction, Adam Page all the way.
So the thing about this match is, not only has, like I said, has it been a year in the making, it's been 2 years in the making. Like Jordan said, he lost his chance when he lost the match against Jericho to become the inaugural first ever AEW World Heavyweight Champion. So like Jordan explained, it's a win-win situation. But I don't know. I have a feeling that Kenny's going to carry the title into 2022. And if they do that, it shits on Adam Page. who's busted his ass for 2 years since losing that match to Jericho just to get shit on again. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Kenny is a
Wait. Go. Hold on. It's not that I don't care about Kenny Omega. It's the matter of, how he has been displayed as of late in regards to how he's in AEW. Never said that I didn't care about him. I just can't stand the fact that he keeps that title, and just doesn't, defend it like a real champion should. Even for both storytelling and for television and pay-per-view.
So the thing with...
Sorry to cut you off, Joe. I just had to respond to that.
So the thing with... The thing is that I've said it before and I'll continue to say it. When it comes to defending the title, Kenny has been lazy, like Jordan said. And I've also said it in the past as well. And I say this to coworkers when we talk about AEW as well. Outside of that, Kenny he's great. He's not worth the hype, but he is definitely a GOAT. Well, no, I don't want to say GOAT.
He is.
Well, okay, so we'll use the term.
You got it right. He is one of the greatest of all time in this era. That's
so we'll say he's a GOAT. We'll say he's the greatest of this time the greatest of all time in this era. Here's where it comes to where I say I've said it before and I'll continue to say it. Kenny does not need the AEW championship to be relevant. The guy has great matches. The only thing is his matches shouldn't be any more than 20 minutes long. Because after 20 minutes, he gets gassed, he gets sloppy, and then his moves start to look very dangerous. Case in point, look at the match that he had with Daniel Bryan a couple of months back. That match was great.
It didn't matter if anybody won.
That match was great, yes. But at certain points, it looked like he was literally legit trying to kill Daniel Bryan. He almost threw, when he went to go do the buckle bomb, he almost threw Daniel Bryan out of the fucking ring. Like,
oh yeah, but
that's why I say.
Time,
go ahead.
At the same time, it was a great bout. It was a great bout, and it didn't matter who won. I mean, that was the whole point. You were going to see both men give it their all and try to kill each other.
I want to address what Black Apple just said. He goes, AEW is too new for someone to hold the title that long. We need more champs. See, the thing is that the reason why that statement is so true is because, well, it's true and it's not true. And the reason why I say that is because AEW only has I think they only have maybe 8 pay-per-views a year, if that.
No. They have only 4 pay-per-views per year. It's kind of like on par with the big 4 for when WWE would do.
Oh, yeah, and then they have their televised special events.
Yeah.
Their special pay-per-views. Okay, so AEW only has those many pay-per-view, those only official pay-per-views, right? So they're not going to have the title dropped on a regular TV show, a regular TV network. It's going to be a pay-per-view. And the only
time they did that was last year on Winter is Coming. That was the debut night for Sting as well.
Yeah. So the thing is that when there's only that many pay-per-views, it's hard because they want to get the most pay-per-view buy rates. And the thing is that Kenny's selling tickets. He's selling tickets and he's getting the ratings. So they're not going to change it. But on the other hand,
I won't deny that.
On the other hand, it's also killing and stinting the growth of other wrestlers and other talent, because look at all the people that they had in face Kenny for the championship. I mean, and not one of them was able to get that, was able to do anything, and they got their momentum killed. And that's the situation we're in right now, is that you have a guy
look at how many men that he's faced. Look at how many minutes he's faced. It's been little to little to less, and not little to more.
And the thing is, at the end of the day, you don't want to make the championship look like a joke by having it flop every couple of weeks to someone new, because then at that point it's going to be pointless. It's almost like when WWE goes and tries to get their last minute WrestleMania main events set in stone, and you got 2 pay-per-views before Mania, and they got to go and they got to figure out what they're going to do. So they have they'll go and they'll have their one title drop to one person, and then the person who won the championship at the last pay-per-view drops it to someone completely different at the next pay-per-view, and then that person goes into the Mania main event. So it's you don't want to have too many title changes, especially when it comes to the World Heavyweight Championship. You don't want to have too many of those title changes. And
I agree with that, but that doesn't mean you can't have too many title defenses either.
But that title, even if you're not going to have the title change hands on a Dynamite, it needs to be represented and it needs to be defended at least once a month, just so that way
if you don't have a pay-per-view.
You don't have a pay-per-view, you can defend it once a month on Dynamite, so that way you're still competing within the 30 days. Hell, back in the good old days, and my father can vouch for this because he used to go to the Garden all the time when he was a kid to watch wrestling. The WWF Championship, or at the time the WWF Championship, wasn't defended weekly. It was defended once a month and only when they were at Madison Square Garden. So they treated the Garden as their special event of the month. So that's why guys like Bruno and guys like Bruno and the Fabulous Moolah had those lengthy title runs, because the fact is that they only had title defenses at the Garden once a month.
And you want to know why? Because at the end of the day, back in the old days, they treated wrestling as if it were an actual sport and not sports entertainment, as revealed later in the years.
Scribble Stokes. The pay-per-view is no longer available on Fight. It's only strictly on pay-per-view, and
it is available on Fight internationally, not here in America.
Oh, okay. So here in America, you're not gonna be able to get it on Fight. You can only get it on Bleacher Report, BR Live. You're only able to get it here in the States on BR Live or on pay-per-view.
They don't do BR Live. They're just doing it with Bleacher Report.
Oh, well, Bleacher Report, BR, it's all the same thing.
I know that, but when you said live, it's still making the live part relevant. Even though I get what you're doing. I'm not trying to downplay you or whatever, but I'm just saying, I think that was a bad idea for them to get rid of BR Live, because that was
I think it was a bad idea for them to get rid of Fight.
I mean, the thing is, AEW, it was like the AEW network on BR Live, just like it were to counteract WWE Network, or Peacock, as it were.
So, like I was saying, is that you don't, by having multiple champions in a year with a company that only has four pay-per-views,
this is not WCW 2000.
Yeah. You don't want to flip-flop championships, because then it tarnishes the legacy of the title. And especially if you're trying to build the company into the next 20, 30 years, you don't want to have to look back and say, oh, well, in 2021, they had 10 champions on a 4 pay-per-view year. It just doesn't look good.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with WCW back in 2000.
You're welcome, Scribble Stokes.
They had the World Heavyweight Championship at WCW change in 2000, I think, in May. So many times, it was what is going on here? You got the title drop into Flair. You got the title drop into, the Jarrett. You got back to Kevin Nash, Flair, Jarrett. I'm in my head, dude, make up your mind. I mean, I mean, it's not freaking it's not like therapy, okay? And I'm not a freaking therapist, but my God, get your freaking, thoughts together of what you're going to do with that freaking belt. Because after, and no shade towards David Arquette, but after he won it in WCW on Thunder, of all places, he, it was like as if the title was killed off and it's, and its legitimacy. And then that goes the same for Vince Russo doing it later on in the year 2000. But however, it was already dying because it already been, tarnished because of the whole thing on January 4th, 1999, the finger poke of doom. And then WCW entirely was just made as a joke. But even though other stars would come around to be the next, world main eventer for the world title, like Booker T or Scott Steiner and all that, at the end of the day, it really was taken, its whole thing was, its heritage and its, legitimacy was actually, was destroyed, all because of those frequent title changes. You know what I mean? But if they were to do that with the AEW world title, that would be a bad move.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, Black Apple, is that you don't want
hold
to.
on. I got a better response. I got a better response to that. Instead of pay-per-view, like too many, like 12, like they would do for WWE or like they used to do with TNA or WCW, here's a counteraction to that. You can only have the big four, like for pay-per-views, like with Revolution, Double or Nothing, All Out, and Full Gear. But you remember when AEW was first starting back in 2019 after the Double or Nothing pay-per-view in 2019 in May? They had two other events, both in June and July. June had Fyter Fest, and July had Fight for the Fallen. And guess what? They were for free on Bleacher Report Live, or BR Live, whatever you were to call it. But if they were to do that kind of thing exclusively on like Bleacher Report or Fight TV, and not on actual television, and make it into a 3-hour monthly special free event you could watch on a wrestling app or whatever, like Fight TV or Bleacher Report, then it could be a possibility where we could also wonder if who's going to win the title on this one, because it can happen at any time and anywhere. It's only the matter of the build. But as far as I'm concerned, that would actually help AEW a lot more better, because I think they should have stuck with that strategy instead of making TV specials for Dynamite just for ratings.
Scribble Stokes, I honestly, I don't know for sure. I'll say this, and this is just a shot in the dark. If you're gonna order it through a streaming service, you're gonna pay upfront $49.99 plus tax or wherever you are in the world. You're gonna pay whatever that price is gonna be. Whereas to if you go, and you're gonna have to pay for it up front. Whereas to if you order it through your cable provider, it's gonna be on your next upcoming bill, so you don't have to pay for it right away. So that's just something that you want to take into consideration. Me personally, I'm doing it through my cable provider, but it's up to you. As far as Apple TV, I have no experience with that, so I honestly wouldn't know what to tell you about that. I do want to go ahead and give my prediction on the match. Huh?
I got Apple TV.
Oh, okay. So
I'll
go ahead
and give your prediction. I'm sorry if I cut you off.
No, it's all set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give my prediction, so that way we can get ready to close this video, this stream, this podcast up, because we're going to be going live at 7 p.m. I believe over on J-Man Legit's channel with the AEW Full Gear live reaction. So, like I said, I have a feeling Kenny's going to carry the title into 2022. I hope he doesn't. His title run has been a joke. I mean, with the exception of a couple defenses. But I think this is Adam Page's time. He definitely needs it. I mean, even if you have him carry it for a couple of months, maybe to the second pay-per-view in AEW for 2022, then have him drop it maybe. But I think right now, my prediction is going to be Adam Page, but I feel like we're gonna get swerved, and Kenny's gonna retain it and carry it into 2022 and Revolution.
So who do you think is going to win now?
Adam Page. But
All
like I
right,
said, I
then.
have a feeling AEW might screw us and say, hey, you know what? We want Kenny to hold the title until 2022. You
Well,
never know.
I will say this though. Who's this guy again? Scribble Stokes. Okay, I just checked. I just checked my Apple TV on the App Store, and the only thing that's available is Bleacher Report BR Live. You know, but then again, that's already over and done with. But if you're gonna have to watch on your computer, you're gonna have to just go to BleacherReport.com and then order the pay per view there. I mean, that's all I can tell you. I mean, I had to do that over where I'm at right now. You know, thanks to the help of my dad.
Thanks, Scribble Stokes.
Anyway,
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. Welcome to the family.
So this is this is all of our predictions. Joe and myself and Double Z, Zach, we all picked Sheeta and Rosa for the buy-in. And as for me, I picked Cody Rhodes and Pac. And Double Z, he chose Andrade El Idolo and Malachi Black. Now, Joe, he said it goes either way, but he didn't make a choice, but that's fine.
For my love of the competitors in the ring.
And plus, he is worthy of pleading the fifth, just like everyone else is. The Falls Count Anywhere match, I picked Christian Cage in the Jurassic Express, while Joe and Double Z, they picked the Super Click and CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. All three of us, we picked CM Punk, obviously. Darby out now Double Z, he couldn't stay long because he had to, be forced to go out and eat dinner with his family, which is fine. I mean, shout outs to you, Zach. Go ahead and go to his YouTube and all his other social medias and follow him there in the description of this stream. So yeah, Joe picked Darby Allen, and while I picked with MJF, me and Joe, we picked the Lucha Brothers to retain their titles. We also picked the Inner Circle to win the Minneapolis Street Fight. And now Joe didn't pick either Bryan Danielson or Mira because it could go either way, but I picked Bryan Danielson. We both picked Tay Conti, whatever you want to call her. I mean, it's potato. And we also picked Adam Page to win the AEW World Title.
So guys,
there.
Go ahead.
So there we go. That's it. That's it for the predictions right there.
So guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to end the stream here because we still have a little bit of preparation to do before the live reactions. I want to get some food in me before we go live again. So I cannot stress this enough. If you guys like the content and love what you see, make sure you go ahead and leave a like, hit that subscribe, and click that notification bell and set the notifications to all. So that way you will be made aware when content is uploaded to the channel. Also, down in the description box is not only the links to my socials, but the other members of the podcast as well. So go ahead, leave them a follow, leave them a like. Also, check out my brand new shiny Discord. If you guys want to stay in contact with myself and Double Z and any other members of the community. I know, Jordan, I don't think you have a Discord yet.
I do. I do have a Discord. I just haven't joined yet. I will soon.
Okay. Guys, I cannot stress it enough. Thank you for making us a part of your Saturday. Hopefully you guys will be tuning into the live stream over on J-Man's channel. Link is in the description box below. With that being said, guys, plant the seed today for a better tomorrow. And I am going to let
sorry for cut you off. I gotta go ahead. I gotta go ahead and prepare the stream already because I forgot to set it up.
Okay. So with that being said, guys, like always, thank you for being too sweet, all elite. And Jordan, you want to close it out?
Yeah, I'm sorry if I cut you off a couple of times. I mean, I'm just been really anxious and excited for tonight.
Not a problem, brother.
Now, if you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you missed your chance to comment in the live chat, comment down below the replay of this stream after it goes off the air. Also, be sure to subscribe to Joe here, EliteJC TV, and hit the notification bell whenever he goes live or does a video at all times. And same goes for Double Z TV and myself, J-Man's Legit. And be sure to catch me tonight for AEW Full Gear 2021 live reaction. And with that all being said, God bless you all and see you later tonight and stay healthy for an even better day tomorrow. So good night, everybody. Yeah!